Lincoln High was a school where the strong ruled and the silent survived. The corridors were filled with laughter, echoes of sneakers on tile floors and whispers of gossip that could crush reputations overnight. But amid that chaos walked a girl who hardly spoke, Maya Torres, a transfer student from another district, quiet as a shadow yet carrying an aura that unsettled those who tried to test her. She kept to herself, always moving with her earbuds in, eyes lowered, never looking for trouble. But trouble had already found her long before she entered Lincoln High. Maya's past wasn't the kind people wore proudly. Her father, a decorated Marine, had died 2 years earlier in a training accident. Her mother struggled to keep the family afloat, working double shifts, leaving Maya to fend for herself most days. To cope, Maya turned to something that demanded her full strength, Muay Thai. Her father had introduced her to it when she was just 10. The art of 8 limbs, he called it. You don't fight to hurt, he used to say. You fight to end the fight. Those words stayed buried inside her heart, like a locked weapon waiting for a reason to be used again. It was Monday morning when everything changed. The day had started like any other. The smell of fresh paint and cleaning chemicals lingered in the halls, lockers clanged open and shut, and the cheerleaders rehearsed their halftime chants in the courtyard. Maya walked past them unnoticed, or so she thought. Near the trophy case stood 3 members of the Lincoln High football team, Troy, the arrogant quarterback, who thought the world revolved around his smirk, Blake, the linebacker built like a wall with more muscle than manners, and Ryan, the joker who laughed at every insult like it was comedy gold. They ruled the hallways as self-appointed kings, and anyone they disliked was fair game. That morning their target was Maya. "Hey, new girl!" Troy called out, his voice dripping with mockery. Maya ignored him, tightening her grip on her backpack strap. "Yo, she's got headphones in," Blake snickered. "Think she's too good for us?" "Maybe she's scared," Ryan added with a grin. The 3 exchanged glances and moved closer. Their sneakers squeaked against the polished floor. Maya kept walking, pretending not to hear, though her heart thudded in rhythm with every step. She had learned long ago that silence often saved you more than words. But this time, silence only fueled their cruelty. "Hey, sweetheart!" Troy reached out and yanked one of her earbuds free. "You don't ignore me!" His breath smelled faintly of mint and arrogance. Maya froze. The hallway grew quieter. A few students stopped, sensing something was about to happen but too afraid to intervene. Maya's eyes met Troy's for the first time. Cold, calm, unblinking. It wasn't the reaction he expected. "Oh, come on," he said, feigning playfulness. "We just want to welcome you to Lincoln High." Blake stepped behind her, blocking her path. Ryan stood at her side, smirking. "You think you're better than everyone here? Walking around like some model?" Maya didn't move. Her father's words echoed in her mind. "Breathe. Don't react. Control the storm." But then Troy shoved her shoulder, hard. Her books scattered across the floor. Laughter erupted. "Oops," Troy said mockingly. "My bad." Maya knelt to pick them up, her jaw tightening. "Pick it up faster, princess," Blake muttered. Ryan kicked one of her notebooks down the hall, its pages fluttering like wounded wings. "Oops, there goes your homework." Something inside Maya cracked, not with anger but clarity. She slowly stood, gathering the last of her books. "You done?" she asked softly. Her voice was calm but carried a chill that made Troy blink in surprise. "What did you say?" he asked, stepping closer. "I said," Maya raised her eyes. "Are you done acting like children?" The smirk vanished from Troy's face. The crowd around them began to grow, phones ready to record. "You think you can talk to me like that?" he sneered. "You don't know who I am." "I don't need to," Maya replied. "But maybe you should figure out who you are without a football." That line hit harder than any punch. Gasps echoed. Blake shoved her shoulder. "You better watch that mouth." Troy grinned again, pretending to brush off the insult, but his pride was bleeding. "You think you're tough, huh?" he said. "Let's see if you can handle this." He nodded to his friends, and before Maya could step back, they cornered her, Blake blocking her escape, Ryan pushing from the side, and Troy stepping forward until her back hit the cold lockers. Her books fell again. The metallic echo filled the hall. "Don't move," Troy said, lowering his voice. "Let's see how quiet you can be when you're scared." The smirk returned, but what he didn't know was that Maya wasn't scared, not anymore. The hallway lights flickered, the air felt heavier, her breathing slowed, steady, measured. She looked at their feet, their stances, their shoulders. Years of training from her father's garage flooded back into her muscle memory. She knew what was coming next even before Troy moved. He placed his hand on her shoulder, leaning in too close. "You should smile more." His sentence ended with a gasp. In one smooth motion, Maya gripped his wrist, twisted it outward, and drove her knee up, sharp, fast, perfectly aimed. The sound wasn't loud, but the impact was. Troy crumpled instantly, clutching his gut, eyes wide in shock. Pain exploded through his body as he dropped to his knees. Gasps filled the hallway, phones recording from every angle. Blake shouted, "What the hell?" and lunged, but Maya sidestepped, his momentum slamming him into the lockers instead. Ryan tried to grab her arm, but she pivoted, elbow snapping backward into his ribs. A grunt escaped him as he stumbled. Maya didn't need to fight more. She just stood there, still as stone, her breath even, eyes calm again. It had lasted less than 5 seconds. But the silence afterward stretched forever. Troy groaned on the floor, wheezing, trying to stand. "You broke something, freak," he spat. "No," Maya said quietly, picking up her backpack. "I ended something." She walked past the frozen crowd, her boots clicking against the floor. Students parted for her like she was untouchable. Phones captured every step. Behind her, the once untouchable football captain lay defeated, face red, clutching his stomach, while his friends stared in disbelief. Word spread like wildfire. By lunchtime, everyone at Lincoln High had seen the video. "That new girl dropped Troy with one hit," whispered a freshman. "She's like trained or something." Others replayed it frame by frame, watching the precision, the confidence, the power. Teachers whispered about suspension, but the principal quietly deleted the footage from school servers before it reached the district. He'd seen the video too. It wasn't assault, it was self-defense. And deep down, even he knew Troy had it coming. Maya sat alone in the cafeteria, sipping from a carton of milk, ignoring the stares. The noise around her buzzed like distant bees, but she was somewhere else mentally. Back in her father's garage, hearing his voice echo, "Never start a fight, Maya, but always finish it with control." She'd done exactly that. Yet, as strong as she felt, she also knew the storm wasn't over. People like Troy never let humiliation go easily. That afternoon, the football team's coach, Mr. Garrison, called Maya to the office. "You're quite the talk of the day," he said, half smiling. "You hurt my best player." "He tried to hurt me first," Maya replied evenly. "I don't doubt it," he admitted.